So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome again after the tea session. So, this is a poetry reading session, and this session would be chaired by Professor Muchkund Dubey, a very famous poet of our time actually. And I'd like to request Professor Muchkund Dubey to take the seat in the dais and conduct the session. And I'd like to introduce him before you. Professor Muchkund Dubey is currently President of the Council for Social Development, New Delhi. He is former Foreign Secretary, Government of India, and Professor at the Jawaharlal Nehru University. He was India's High Commissioner to Bangladesh and Permanent Representative to UN organizations in Geneva. He serves at UN and UNDP headquarters and was also India's member of the Executive Board of UNESCO. He was Vice Chairman, Planning Commission of the Government of Sikkim. And the participant for this session will be Suharshani Dharmaratne from Sri Lanka. Please, yeah. Saleh Mujahid from Bangladesh. Rajendra Parajuli from Nepal. And Professor Muchkund Dubey himself. If somebody wants to join in this session, because we have 3 empty space. Dr. Thomas, I would like to request you to take the seat on the dais. If anybody wants, and even I would like to request Professor Huda to take the seat and present some poetry over us.
Yeah.
If anyone can, another space is there. If anyone can, you can take place. And please be remembered that you have 6 minutes for each to present your poetry. Sir, please.
So, since we are already a couple of minutes late, so I shall now straight away request Suharshani Dharmaratne from Sri Lanka to recite her poems. Waheed.
She's not here, sir. Okay, sir. And open the Bible.
Then the next one is Saleh.
Thank you very much, Muchkund. Yes, please.
So, better I would like to introduce Saleh Mujahid on behalf of Muchkund sir. Saleh Mujahid was an active member of cultural group called Bartoman, involved in street drama, was a political activist for a socialistic party. His writing covers diversified subjects, Sufism, mysticism in Bengali literature relating to Charjapad. His first poetry of book is Chad Kabbo. Second one is, what is the name, sir? Please. Bhagnansho Prem Prakash. And novel is Ornobe Diary. Main theme of the poetry is love, reunion of loved ones, inner soul and greater soul. So please be in the dais to present your poetry. And please be remembered that you have 6 minutes each.
Thank you very much. Thanks, sir, Muchkund and I say my gratitude to Auditorium for allowing me to recite my poem. Thing is that before reciting my poem, I want to give you some prelude of the poem that you can understand it better. Thing is that in Sufism, if we talk about Sufism, basically Sufis learn things from Quran and Hadith basically, and true Sufis don't differentiate all the religious books because all are learning subjects for them. And if you talk about Quran and Gita, I see many relationship in the verses and the slokas in Quran and Gita. Thing is that creator of the heavens and the universe of this earth created everything from nothingness. He has only to say kun, that is be, when he wills, and everything is in being with a big bang. That is from chapter 2, verse 117, Surah Baqarah. And another thing about the stages of life, about this poetry is basically a relationship, the human life, it's stages of life. In Quran, there are several stages of human life are being described. Number one is life. The soul was created by God with a single soul from Him, and it was being placed in the Lawh Mahfuz. Then life in the mother's womb. Third is life in the world. Thing is that when God asked us, Astanabi Rabbikum, that is, am I not your creator? And we said to him, Hulu Bala, that means yes, you are our creator, our Lord. But coming to this world, we forget everything and we do all the nasty things can be done by us. And four is death. It is the transition of life. And fifth is the resurrection of life. And in the verse 50, chapter 50, verse 16, it is being said that God is with us. It is nearer to our jugular vein. Basically, these are the things I have told you to understand the poetry's inner feelings. The poetry is after our togetherness, Otopor Amra. That is one of the poetry of the my first poetry book, Chatkabbo. The very day you came in existence in the calm pond of my mother's home, I feel your presence deep in my depth. Sight to scenery, scenery to thoughts, thoughts to emotion, you connect me to myself, sometimes in a motionless way, sometimes in electric manner. Both of us grow in the same house as partners in life. I grow up in tenderness, youth and ages. You grow up in knowledge, thoughts, and with creativity. With graying hair, loosened skin, I grow old and decay. You become humbled, calm and quiet through time. And then you get ready for a journey all alone. Finally comes the very moment you leave me so. Leave the nest as a migratory bird, travel somewhere unknown, maybe in light, maybe in darkness, or in wilderness. In the horizon of seamless time, you, me, and our love do not exist same. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now I request in this order Mr. Kausal Datta.
Yes, sir.
I would like to recite two poems. First one title is Situation Under Control. This is based on anti-terrorism. Is situation under control? 1. Only the smoke and ash are floating in the air. The smell of burned corpses smacks my nostrils again and again. Within the perimeter of this smoke, ash and smell of burned corpses, is the situation under control? 2. Leaving aside the perimeter of this abstract circle made by the imaginary lines of smoke, ash and smell burnt of corpses, I look back into my feet and once again I clutch the soil. Since the time of learning algebra, after having finished simple arithmetic, I have learned to draw various triangle, rectangle, circle or quadrilaterals of various sizes with lines of various length and degree. All these geometric skills I have applied successfully in the answer sheets of my school exams or flower garden or in my newly constructed house of the latest design. Yet till today, with the angles of smoke, ash and corpses, I have not been able to draw a single triangle or any geometric pattern. Within the perimeter of this smoke, ash and smell of burned corpses is situation under control. My second poem, titled The Resting Shadow. The name of the tree cannot be infinite just because I rested in its shadow. The name of the sky through the gaps of the leaves fluttering in the heavy wind is infinite. The name of the outer space through the twigs standing aloft after the severe storm is infinite. The name of the abstract imaginary line of light moving towards outer space from my eyes, leaning on the fallen yellow leaf, is infinite. Yes, the name of the movement is infinite. Wherever the train of thought stops, the infinite starts from there. The start of infinite. Though there is no point of start, no point of end in my limited brain, there is the start and end point of normal thought. And after a while of the end of the thought of infinite, where my point of thought has rested, coming back through the way leading out, I named the shadow of the calm and quiet cloud-free tree after the storm, the resting shadow. Though it is the start and the end, the name of the tree providing shadow is not infinite, but the resting shadow is the starting point of illuminated thought of mine named infinite. Thank you.
Now I request poet Rajendra Parajuli from Nepal to recite his poems.
So I'd like to introduce him, Mr. Rajendra Parajuli. He was born in 1964 and has written 6 books, 4 short story collections, 1 novel and 1 poetry book. Editor of more than dozen literary magazines and contemporary literary collections. Regular column writing in literature, book review and contemporary issues in national publications. Working journalist since 2.5 decades. Associated feature editor of Nagorik National Daily, Nepal Republic Media Group. So please, Mr. Rajendra Parajuli.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chairperson of this session, respected Muchkund Dubey, Chairman of FOSWAL, respected Ajit ji, distinguished guests, literature lover, ladies and gentlemen, namaste from Nepal. I will read my only one poem, which is translated by my dear friend Keshav Sikdel. It is fresh translation by him. The heading of my poem is Had I Been With You. Had I been with you, seeing myself in the mirror would have not been necessary. In your blue eyes, I would have clearly seen my face, my rollicking and soberness, my mischiefs and my dynamism, had I been with you. I would haven't required listening to music when you walked in grace. It would produce a soothing resonance. When you spoke, it would produce the finest of sounds, had I been with you. I would haven't needed the comfort of smoking or the gulp of wine each evenings. Your graceful presence before me would have easily intoxicated me, and if I was bored, I needn't visit the pubs, had I been with you. I would haven't embarked into a long journey alone, nor needed a new friend. For some occasional talks, the road to life would have not become so dry or appeared so elongated, had I been with you. My life would haven't looked so colorless, as you were a rainbow yourself. Some colors from the rainbow would spring unto me. I would get transfused in them and danced in ecstasy, had I been with you. The melody of my life would haven't gone so incongruous, the pace of life so sluggish and inert. I would have stood on my single leg as you would become my unfailing support, had I been with you. I would haven't lived a doomed life where I shouldered a huge rock towards a high hill, only to be rolled back to the bottom again, had I been with you. Thank you.
I now request A.J. Thomas.
So, Dr. A.J. Thomas is an Indian English poet, fiction writer and translator, was editor of Indian literature and is guest editor now, taught English in Benghazi University as the Pia branch, Libya from 2008 to 2014, and he is the recipient of Katha Award, AKMG Prize, Senior Fellow, Department of Culture, Government of India, and Honorary Fellow, Department of Culture, Government of South Korea, guest speaker in Writers' Conference and reading in South Korea for 3 times, and also in Australia, Thailand, Hong Kong, and Nepal. So please, sir, present your poetry over before us.
Thank you, Muchkund Besab. And I thank once again for this 3rd time here, Dr. Anand Kumar, Ajitji's blessings. I'm going to share with you rather, note that I wrote on mystic poetry. It's not poetry exactly, but reflections on mystic poetry. It's about Bhakti poetry and Sufi poetry combined, we can say mystic, and also some Western mystic poems. So all that together, I have penned down a small note. Mystic poetry. Skepticism signifies the lack of faith in a higher state of being. But there is one thing that can demolish skepticism. That's love, unconditional love, which is in fact surrendering of the self. Love is the magic word that describes an emotional state that never cloys. In love, the travails and trials one faces in life do not lead to a lack of faith or skepticism in which one has to be alone and responsible only to oneself and not to a higher reality. That's the problem of the skeptic. How can one define love? There could be countless ways, as there are countless lovers in this world. But one can say that it is the molten gold one gets to feast one's eyes on at the end of an endless search. A search of the yearning, burning self for the ideal, the perfect, the completely complementary other. Let us look at the love between people from time immemorial. The pulsations in each cell of all the lovers over the countless generations, the energy waves created by them, where will they all go? Or are they circling around us eternally? Can death put a stop to them? No, the vibes would certainly remain untouched. Rather, the human astral body is filled with them. The love of parents, beloveds, children, siblings, and friends fill our astral space. People pass them on among themselves and also up and down generations. But love, the absolute, remains one big whole, without beginning, without end. We may call it God or something else. God is love. We hear that often. According to the French post-structuralist psychologist Lacan, love is structured by the desire of others, and we express deep feelings through the reality, quote-unquote, of others. Lacan looks at desire as a social phenomenon and regards psychoanalysis as a theory of how the human subject is created through social interaction. Desire appears through a combination of language, culture, and the spaces between people, according to Lacan. On the other hand, love for the absolute is possible only through total surrender. In mystic poetry, there is the beloved and the lover. The beloved is the essence of Sri Radha of Gita Govinda, the Hebrew maid in the Song of Solomon, sometimes Teresa of Avila, as she appears in her intense lyrics, Akka Mahadevi, Laleshwari, or Mirabai. The beloved could be the Bhakti saint poet, the Sufi termed as the mad lover. But in mystic poems, the distinction between the flesh and the spirit is non-existent. The beloved and the poet become one and the same as the spirit takes over. Her heightened spiritual passion is throbbing in every word. The lover is the absolute, the unattainable, attained. As if the answers to a lot of one's questions have been found, as if one has finally reached a shore from where there is no sailing further, as if one is passing stage after stage in one's being, never to look back, a sense of finality is reached in ideal mystic poetry. Scaling the mystical and metaphysical heights, one reaches a pinnacle from where one can illumine the world with one's revelations. Love alone matters. The supremely intense burning away of the self leaves only incandescence of the self behind, like a trace of flare. The speaking subject and her lover, in and out of the divine and the mundane in an indistinguishable way, owing to the play of her blazing awareness, characterize mystical poetry. The poet chooses to present the ideal she has sought and found at the level of the ultimate. Such poems are veritable spiritual journal entries. They reverberate with the supreme bliss, reverence, ecstasy, and a lot more inexpressible, innermost feelings in what is to be termed as a miracle of literary creation. So this is what I think about mystic poetry. Thank you.
Professor Muhammad Nurul Huda is a leading Bengali poet of international repute with more than 100 titles to his credit. including collected poems in Bengali and selected poems in English. And he translated into many, his work actually translated into many international languages, including English, French, German, Swedish, and Russian. He has won more than 50 awards, national and international, a noted critic, translator, IPR specialist, folklorist, novelist, and literary organizer. He is the chairman of Bangladesh Writers Club.
Thank you, Mother Rajendra, and my mentor since perhaps 1980 or around, Muchkund Dubey, the poet and the diplomat. I have, moments back, I have discovered another definition of a Sufi that I will tell you. You are a Buddha or a Sufi if you don't carry $1 or a rupee. The lady is smiling, who knows the meaning of this, who knows the background. I wanted to buy a book from this bookshop. Suddenly I found that I have no $, I have no rupee. But somehow I got it. And love, it is love from the lady or from the lady. I mean, my brother Mumen, he made the thing. So if you become a real Sufi, you don't need to carry $, or rupee. I wanted to read a long poem, but I will not do it. Always I am rather a confused man. I have lost the poems. So the poem that is just before me from my selected poems is started, I am in a long waking. Neither in mosque nor in temple, nor in kyang nor in chars, since any portion of this universe is my prayer house, nothing of my being is inadmissible for my worship. So I have unveiled my full sight all over this vast universe. My utterance is raining from my mind. I am this world creation, and this world is mine. I want none but myself, and there is no end to mine. And then I start the portions of the long poem. Ami nari, ami sikurax. Ami nari, ami sikurax. Ami odishara, shashagara ei dunya. I am a woman, I am a sikurax. I am the impress of this universe with its vast waters. There are no anchors here, no busy, sleepless ports. Where the sails pulled up, the hulls held up, and the ports in rows, there are no gesture of woman, no movement or thirsty blue sailors, no prince from a faraway land, accompanied with large troop of powerful armies. Guests are not welcome here in these islands. There is beguiling water, tremulous banks, horizons dark, diseases, pouries, keeping in watch on a stony heart, deep into one, wakeful one, I am deep into me. Only I, and these dainty lake, these fountain water, these tree, these bird flying on the air, these moving and surging over the being, fierce, gentle, stern, modest. There are fish in water, stags on land, snake hood behind leaves and growl in the cave. Only I, I am the impress of this island world. There is beguiling water, tremulous bank, horizons dark, diseases, pouries, keeping in watch on the stony heart, deep into one, wakeful one, I am deep into me. I have no power, yet I hate any weak being of me. I hate the dominions of man in women's empire. I hate all empowering muscular violence. A Sekorax, I am a woman. I have mastered all the magic of the world. With this magic, I have destroyed this island, these trees, these bars, these waters. But I regret. None calls me Queen Mother, or there are none to call it in this floating land. There is beguiling water, tremulous banks, horizons dark, diseases, pouries, keeping in watch On stormy heart, deep into one, wakeful one, I am deep into me. All are controlled. Only air or anyone else did not submit to me. So I punished him too. I had imprisoned him into the hollow of the biggest tree in the island. Ariel is his name. He is not free and will never free. I know the spell of imprison. I know the spell to free, but I own. Entire freedom of the earth is only mine. Only free I am, perfectly free. All others are imprisoned to my shadow, to my spells. This island world is subjected to my orders. There is beguiling water, tremulous banks, horizons dark, the disease bodies keeping in watch. On stony heart, deep into one, wakeful one, I am deep into me. It is a making of the character called Sycorax, the mother of Caliban, in the play Tempest by Shakespeare. Last part. Who stands who? At the end of the conquest of the world, who comes to win me? Who stands who? Does he who stands is the first man on earth? Is the potency cannon of the world that trifle the human body? Will it win me? If it is destruction. He has to submit whenever his body resembles human being, whenever he is like starting. Who stands who? Is he, however, the first explosion? Is he the light made of explosion? Whereas I am sure he is neither a human or a man. First man means second human. First human means first woman. Eve is not me. I am not Eve. Eve and I together make the forbidden fruit. I make my Adam within me. Man is not mother to woman. All men on earth are sons of woman. Not Manu. It is atom. In Manu lies atom. All atoms from three worlds. All molecules. It is the Agni. I am his serpent magic. I am not only sex main. Who is the God that opens me up? No, not the God, not the Supreme Being. Here comes my composition to open me up. My courage dares to open me. At the end of my composition, what I dug out striking is a fountain. Drops of blood playing on the tip of tongue, saliva, salivation. I eat up, licking the silt of mine. I disgust me, I vomit me. It's born of a semen, born of an embryo. Here comes my composition to open me up. My courage dares to open me up. Thank you very much. It's a poem on selfhood.
I feel very humble in the company of these great poets sitting on the dais. I don't write original poems these days. I used to do it during my younger days. But recently I have translated some 100 songs of Lalu Shah Fakir, which has been published by the Sahitya Akademi into Hindi. And I shall read two poems out of that. They are very short poems. First one is रूप काठ की यह नौका नहीं डूबने का भय, पार जो जाना चाहे नबी की नौका पर आए. रूप काट की यह नौका, नहीं डूबने का भय, पार जो जाना चाहे नबी की नौका पर आए। बेसहारा नाविक है जो तूफान में मरेगा वो एक ही धक्के में, किस काम में आएगा उसका बदर काजी न जाने रहेंगे कहाँ। नबी को माने ना जो संकीर्ण काफिर है वो इस दुनिया में, उसके भजन को न मिलेगी मजूरी, साफ लिखा है दलील में। जो मुर्शिद वही है रसूल, इसमें न कोई भूल, खुदा भी वह। लालन नहीं कहता यह बात, कुरान कहता है। इसका बंगला में बहुत बंगाली कवि आए हैं, इसलिए मैं उनको रिमाइंड करा दूं इसके बंगला का कि रूप काठरी नौका खानी नाई डुबार भोय, पारे के जाबे नौबी नौकाते आए। बेसारा जाबे जारा, तूफाने जाबे मारा, एक ही धक्काए। की करबे तार बदर काजी, থাকবে কোথায়। নবী না মানে যারা, মহাদের কাফের তারা এই দুনিয়ায়। ভজনে ভজনে তার নাই মজুরি, দলিলে সাফ লেখা রয়। যে মুর্শিদ সেই তো রসুল, তাইতে না कोई ভুল, খোদাই সে হয়। লালন বলে না এ কথা কোরআনে কয়। And my second poem is somewhat different because Lalan wrote on all various forms of poems. I mean, some relating to Islamic monism and absolute God concept, some relating to pure Vaishnavi bhajan, some relating to Deh Sadhana, quite closely tantric philosophy, and some are pure prayers, which are among the best. Now I shall read one more poem, and then one he wrote about seeking the divine in human being itself. That is, repeatedly there are many poems of that nature. So I read just one of them. इस मानुष में वह मानुष विराजे, इस मानुष में वह मानुष विराजे, कितने ऋषि मुनि योगी तपस्वी नाकाम उसे ढूंढते फिरते। पानी में जैसे दिखता चांद, पकड़ने जाओ तो आता किसके हाथ। अलक्ष्य मानुष इसी तरह सदा रहता अलक्ष्य में। अनचीने स्तर पर उसका निवास, जुदल कमल में उसका आश्रम। स्तर निरूपण जो कर पाए, वही रूप दर्शन कर सके अनायास। मुझे कैसा हुआ भ्रम रे, बाहर ढूंढता रहा घर का रखा धर रे। सिराज साईं के कहे भटकोगे लालन, बिना आत्म तत्व जाने। और इसका বাংলা में है, এই মানুষে সে মানুষ বিরাজে, কত ঋষি মুনি যোগী তপস্বী তারে খুঁজে বেড়াচ্ছে। জলে যেমন চাঁদ দেখা যায়, ধরতে গেলে হাতে না পায়, হাতে কে পায়। আলেক মানুষ এমনি সদায় আছে আলেকে বসে। অচিন দলে বসতি তার, দ্বিদল পদ্মে বারান তার। দল নিরূপণ হবে যাহার, উসে রূপ দেখতে অনায়াসে। আমার হলো কি ভ্রান্তি মন, আমি বাইরে ঢুঁড়ি ঘরের ধন। সিরাজ সাঁই কয় ঘুরবি লালন, আত্মতত্ত্ব না বুঝে। থ্যাংক ইউ। ये आशा पूरी हुई न मेरी और न मेरी मनोकामना, आशा पूरी हुई न मेरी और न मेरी मनोकामना, विधाता है संसार का राजा, हमें बनाकर रखा प्रजा, कर न मिलने पर देते सजा, दुहाई किसी की सुने ना। इच्छा थी वांछित फल पाऊं, युगल चरण तले कर साधना, इच्छा थी वांछित फल पाऊं, युगल चरण तले कर साधना, विधि विमुख होने के कारण मिली जगत में यातना। विधि हुई विपरीत हमारी, गलत हो गई मेरी मूल साधना, विधि हुई विपरीत हमारी, गलत हो गई मेरी मूल साधना, लालन कहे इस हालत में मुर्शिद तज कर जाओ ना।